day, everyone, and welcome to Obedient Family TV. The program is Hope Alive. Yes, there is hope in Nigeria. Coming up at this hour, we have our own P2B's Excellency, who visited yesterday, visited Nasarawa State. He was joined with over 1,000 Nigerians at the Marabanyanya International Market Central Mosque to break the Ramadan fast. And a lot of people are talking about it. The reactions and conversations about the feeding of the little boy that is going on. We are going to talk about it at this hour. Also coming up is the major issue surrounding the feeding of people in Akwa-Ibom State. Know that the governor of Akwa-Ibom State has made it clear that he is not going to include egg in the feeding of the subsidized food items they are to provide for poor people. He believes that the poor people don't eat eggs. That is in quotes by him. And that is coming from the governor of Akwa-Ibom State. And we have other things lined up, like the protest on Monday in Delta State, and the arrest of 8 persons and the impoundment of about 53 motorcycles, plus what is happening in Bayelsa and in Delta by the military. All this we are to discuss, and I have in the studio with me Divine.
Thank you for joining us on today's episode. We're so glad to have you.
So on a good morning, afternoon, and evening, depending on our time zone, as on a join us now, make on a like, share, so that other obedient and well-meaning Nigerians will know that Obedient Family TV is on. So before we get to the P2B's breakfast with our own Muslim brothers, let's get to this because it concerns everyone that the most common protein in the market is what the governor looks at not okay for the poor to get, the commonest of egg. Let's start with that, Divine.
Well, it's really interesting to see, aside from being a politician, we've seen that these people are people of many parts. He happens to, double as a dietitian to actually tell the class of people that should be able to eat eggs and the class of people that shouldn't be able to eat eggs. And it's just very laughable because, like you rightly said, eggs is actually the easiest thing that anyone can, assess right now as a protein-based. And so the fact that it is not included in the, food items that are intended to be subsidized by the Akwa-Ibom State government says a lot, because we heard the report said that it was just 3 food items that are meant to be subsidized, and they are rice, beans, and, gari. And it's just very sad to see, to be honest, because we understand that maybe in a bid to actually subsidize or reduce the hunger in the state or in the country at large, that you've decided that, we're going to source for food items and sell it to our citizens at a subsidized rate, but everything that should be done properly and in orderly manners. And we should also refrain from making very callous statements, to be honest, because it is not their fault that they are poor in a country that has plenty, right? It is due to the bad governance. And now, after we are poor because of the bad leadership that goes on in the country, then you now come and decide for them who and what class of people are meant to eat eggs and what not to. So the entire execution process, and we don't even want to talk about the intricacies that comes with them saying they were going to give them vouchers and have them,
That is even the area I was coming at. But first, what this governor intends to do is to give 10 kg,
right?
10 kg of rice, 10 kg of beans, and 10 kg of gari, mostly carbohydrates, except the beans itself, like you said. So how do you look at it from the perspective of 10 bags, even before we get to the issue of the vouchers that they are going to give? Because I look at these 10 kgs that might not even be enough for a week on a family of 3, not talk less of a family of 5.
Well, 10 kg is actually very, very little, to be very honest. When we put that into perspective, I expect, a more orderly and organizational way of doing this thing, because we expect that at least if you're going to subsidize goods, the least you can do is to actually make sure that these goods are actually in large quantities. Because what is the point of subsidizing 10 kg of rice and 10 kg of beans and 10 kg of gari? And you know, the interesting thing is that they said they were going to give vouchers to people, and that this subsidization is going to happen once in a month. So you're giving out subsidized food items once a month, and then it is 10 kg. What sense does that make? Because like you rightly said, 10 kg is something that is going to finish, you know, in the blink of an eye. And we have situations where they said this voucher was actually being produced by, you know, mining, the company of mining and
that
security.
is the Nigerian mine, the people that actually helps to produce money, minting and...
exactly. And so if we take that into consideration, it's coming from CBN, and then the whole paper they are going to import to do all of this. If you put that into perspective, it actually, you know, goes to show that this, you know, printing, the process of actually putting it together is more expensive than the food itself that they're trying to subsidize. So it's just very cost ineffective, and it doesn't really show that a lot of planning went into this. Because if you were going to do something like that, it is a good initiative, but proper planning should go into it to make sure we're able to maximize this. And once a month is such a little time, and if you're going to do once a month, it is important that you at least increase the size or the quantity of food items that is going to be available.
Yes, for us here, I think you spoke my mind. I don't have to repeat it again. But what I want to let our people know is, first, you can go to the comment section and tell us these utterances that keeps coming out, especially saying that the poor people doesn't deserve to eat egg. Is egg now an expensive item in the market that the poor can't or would not be able to afford in the first place? Then I want you guys also to juxtapose this with giving out voucher. Who are going to be the beneficiaries? Of course, we know what happens in Nigeria. It still means that the people who are going to be in charge, there will be corruption embedded, and the people that are to benefit from this will not. Then the third aspect that she also spoke about, Divine, is the fact that the company that is going to give out this voucher is the same company that prints for CBN. Invariably, they say they are going to import the papers they are going to use to do this very printing. Then how much will be the cost of the paper? Compare it to the food items, and then give us your thoughts on the comment section. A lot of things are going so bad and wrong in Nigeria. In the midst of plenty, so many things are going wrong. So with that, please go to comment section and tell us. Let's now move to our own, His Excellency Peter Obi, how he visited, and he actually tweeted about it. But before we enter into his tweet and what is actually setting the stage on in X and all the reactions in X platform, let's even see what people has been using Peter Obi's name to, you know, to gain traction. People like Reno Mockley. But there is one tweet that actually Lalong replied to that I want the producer to actually show, so that we can start from there to show you how these people just take advantage of PO's generosity and talking to everybody to, you know, showcase themselves. We should always ignore them. So we have Reno Mockley here.
Well, he aired his opinion, and his opinion was that the floated naira continues to appreciate above the official and parallel markets. It's gained 6 naira and is trading at 1,610 to $1. Let us celebrate small progress like this. Do you know why? Because enemies of Nigeria will celebrate and overflow negativity. Take Peter Obi, for example. He will not tweet when the naira gains value. He will not post when Nigerian Stock Exchange becomes the most profitable on earth. He will be missing when our GDP grows by 3.4% in the latest NBS data. You won't see him when it is reported that our oil imports have reduced by 50%. But let something remotely negative occur, and Obi will bring out his megaphones and start singing, "Go tell it on the mountains." If we don't celebrate positivity, negativity will dominate Nigeria. And don't forget to grow naira and buy naira.
So look at Reno Mockley talking about celebrating 6 naira difference.
Right.
that Naira appreciated. I just want Nigerians to, hear this man out and know if he's sick or he's just incurable. 6 Naira, and he wants PO, His Excellency P2B, to start talking about 6 Naira increase. It's just seeking for attention without mentioning P2B in any of his tweets. It will not trend. So he just uses P2B's name to gain traction so that people will talk about him. But somebody responded. I was not expecting that response coming from Dalong. Let's also watch the tweet that's a response to this Reno. So in this here, we have Solomon Dalong who responded here, replying to Reno. He said, I used to respect your opinions, but this newfound job at official BAT orchestra that preached at P2B phobia and hatred is disgusting. I join you, brother, to say it's disgusting. Can't you invest your energy in promoting your bad markets without attacking P2B? This is Solomon Dalong. I think Solomon Dalong also worked with him during the Good Luck administration, and I think he's a co-people. But, well, those are the boss that we have. We have several people who are reacting. Every time that Reno and this other guy, there is, what is his name? Former spokesperson for Atiku, but now becomes a spokesperson to Chief Bola Tinubu. One barrister, what is that his name?
Actually, the name is coming to my head.
It's like Kaduna based or something like that. Anyway, I think you guys know him, of course. Even without mentioning his name, you should Buala. Daniel Buala, yes. Yeah. Daniel Buala. Person who had abused Tinubu like hell, but now he's coming back to say everything. But what is irony on this, that Naira, 6 Naira appreciated. And this man had the audacity to actually write that Naira is now at 1,600 and something Naira. Well, let him thank God he's not in Nigeria, because if he is, I'm sure by now, even his Shekiri attire that he put on, he will sell all of them to feed himself. Well, let's properly go into the discussion about the 1,000 people that P2B went to have the breakfast with in Abuja. But I think before we start that, let's lead us with this very tweet on P2B.
He said, yesterday I was opportuned to perform a sacred duty in line with the Ramadan season. I had the honor of traveling to Lafia in Nasarawa State, where I had the privilege of meeting with the Emir of Lafia, Honorable Justice Chidi Baje Mohammed, JSC retired, a very revered leader, and also extended my courtesy to Governor Abdullahi Sule. This visit was more than a mere formality. It was a genuine expression of my deep respect and unwavering solidarity with the community. The primary purpose of my visit was twofold: to immerse myself in learning about the experiences of our people, particularly during this special time of Ramadan, and to provide support to those facing hardships during these challenging times. As part of my nationwide initiative to assist those in need, my visit to Lafia allowed me to offer aid to approximately 100 individuals and address a critical societal need by installing a borehole. Thereafter, my team and I had the opportunity of feeding and breaking the Ramadan fast of the day with around 1,000 individuals at the Maraba Yanya International Central Mosque, symbolizing unity and cooperation during this auspicious season. These visits are invaluable opportunities for me to gain insight into the realities faced by our people, many of whom are enduring monumental hardships at this very moment, and also to demonstrate the need for leaders to show responsibility and empathy for the people around them. Leadership in our new nation must meet the people in their places of real need and experiences. Signed, P.O.
Yes, that is His Excellency P2B giving us his go around. For those of you who are just on X and the other platforms, saying all kind of things. This is expressly His Excellency telling you why he went there on twofold. You know, the experience and also supporting people who we have seen that he has been going around the country doing. So let's also hear some of the tidbits and let's get that very video of that so that our people will also know that truly there was such a thing.
This is Kanu local government, but that's Nasarawa here. We vote for Peter. This man, we vote for Peter.
We support him 100%.
And we support this man 100%. You understand? And we pray for him to come back 2027. Inshallah, he's going to win this.
Inshallah.
Because we need people like him, people that can help the youth to come through. We are suffering in this country. Youth don't have job employment.
He said he came to break fast with you. What does it mean to you?
We are very happy. And we are welcome here 100%. We welcome him here to our mosques here, this international market. You understand? So we welcome him and we thank him for coming. A wonderful visit to us. So thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Over here, just to be able to
That is His Excellency Peter Obi joined about 1,000 people after the Ramadan fasting in Marabanyanya. So for those people who are reacting, who are saying different things, you are now seeing that His Excellency was there and he communicated by himself and the reasons why he is there. So we'll be coming on with more reports on PO as later when we come back. But now let's quickly go to what is happening in University of Jos as the Vice Chancellor, Professor Ishaya, orders security to break open the school gates locked by the protesting members of SSNU. And we can see that that is actually trying to create chaos in that area, because as the Vice Chancellor, he could actually call for a discussion or dialogue with the striking staff of the university.
Well, what is just pointing out is that there is a lack of unity between these bodies, right? From SANU to NASU and ASU, right? And there is, you know, I don't want to say politics that they are playing, the politics of favorability or favoritism, because, you know, the ASU people have had their salaries that were withheld paid to them, and the SANU and the NASU, that's the non-academic staff union, of universities, they've not had theirs paid, right? And what is a university? Even if the teaching staff have been paid, if the non-teaching staff have not been paid, then administration is at the risk of folding up. And what is a school or a tertiary institution without administration? So this, you know, locking, or rather asking them to break open the school gates because you don't align with their strike, is actually very appalling, because everybody is in this together. And so when there's injustice meted out to one, directly or indirectly, it affects the totality of everybody in that institution. So we should not play the politics of, you know what, I am not affected by this, and so I should let, you know, them do their thing. They should be able to, you know, come together, have a conversation, and reach a consensus so that they're going to be able to, you know, present a united front to the federal government and have their requests, you know, settled and listened to. Because if they are not having a united front, the federal government would even take them seriously. Because even when they are united, we have to, you know, do the extreme most to get the government to even give them listening ears. So we should not play the politics of, oh, I am a teaching staff and, you know, my withheld salaries have been paid, and so the other people who are striking, it has nothing to do with me. Because if you play those kind of politics, at the end of the day, it is detrimental to the overall good of the institution, and it is counterproductive.
Okay, let's take a soundbite from or reaction from the people at that University of Jos.
Solidarity forever. The union makes us strong. Victory, there is victory for us. Victory, there is victory for us. In the struggle for our members, there is victory for us. Forward, forward, ever. Backward, never. In the struggle for our members, there is victory. Forward, ever. Backward, ever. In the struggle for our members, there is victory. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever.
Is the management and staff of University of Jos putting their acts together on the 7-day strike, and as we can see across the federation, is halting academic activities. Meanwhile, let's drive away from Jos and then fly straight to Delta states and Bayelsa state, where we see a lot of things are happening, especially the military operation that is going on around there, trying to have or do reprisal attack. And we also seen that the defense headquarters has posted the names and the faces of the late officers who were actually killed by the militants in that place. As you can see on the screen, we have seen that we've lost a lot of our men who are gallant officers in the Nigerian army. May their souls rest in peace. Now, what the news coming out from that side is saying that even journalists are prevented from entering into that community or the area to actually carry out an investigation, as there comes allegation of issue about oil and all of that. That seems to be the issue in question, according to the other side of the story that talks more about the oil-rich community. But let's even take a commentary from the journalist who was actually at that place but was refused entry. Let's take a listen.
Madi community, Okwama, was blocked with armored personnel carrier where 16 soldiers were killed despite the tight security. Task force led by General Officer Commanding 6th Division Nigerian Army, Major General Jamal Abdusalam, barred journalists from accessing the area to monitor the visit of the state governor, Sheriff Oboriwori. However, Governor Oboriwori asked to disembark from his car and held a meeting with the commanding officer of the Joint Task Force, Major General Abdusalam, for over 1 hour before leaving Bomadi, although Governor Oboriwori hurriedly left Bomadi after the meeting with the commander of the Joint Task Force. Governor Oboriwori, who declined camera interview, assured to comment on the incident in no distant time. From Warri, Benga Hamid, ITV News.
Well, as you know, recall that some soldiers were actually maimed in this very particular incident, and with that, a lot of things went haywire in that very place. So, Divine, now that they are preventing people from journalists and reporters from going in to report what happened. Yesterday, we had a report, a different side of the story, that it is not what he reported in the dailies and in mainstream media that is happening there. Even reports that came in this morning also suggested that it has to do with oil, that the fight is about the oil in that community and not necessarily about kidnap and rescue mission and all of that.
Well, like I said earlier yesterday, we are actually at the mercy of, you know, whatever narrative they decide to paint, especially when it has to do with their selfish interests, right? And so we just know from the reports that are available to us, there was a conversation about an oil well that they said was found in this, you know, community, and that the federal government was trying to drill this well, right? I report as I have, you know, heard, right? And they said that they wanted to be carried along within the process of, you know, this whole, you know, exploration of this oil and all of that. And then they were being sidelined, and it was during the whole process of the sidelining that the militants, you know, that was where the, you know, disputes came off, and then lives and properties were lost. But if this is true, it actually reminds me of, you know, the colonialist movement and all of that, because remember how we were colonized and how they came into our lands and all of that, and we condemned colonialism. But this is modern day colonialism, just that this time around we're doing it to our people. Because I mean, if you find out some you know, a country, or rather a community, is rich with whatever mineral resources or natural resources, it is only, you know, in the spirit of fairness that you negotiate with them and, you know, make deals with them, so that, you know, everybody, you know, benefits from the deal. At least there's going to be production, there's going to be, you know, urbanization in that particular community. But to come and forcefully take what is rightfully theirs is what I condemn in its entirety. But we don't know how true it is, but these are stories that are actually related to us by the locals. And then the fact that the Nigerian military is barring journalists from going in there to actually, you know, have conversations with the locals, it shows that they have something to hide. Because the last time we heard from a local, the story was totally different from what they were selling to us on the mainstream media. So this just goes to show that there's just something fishy about these attacks, and we're not hearing the totality of the story. And so hopefully we're able to get the truth, the raw truth, to the bottom of the situation, so we can finally nip this into the bud and actually, you know, call it a day. But once again, we condemn in its entirety every form of violence, both against the Nigerian military, soldiers, and also against the members of the community.
Yeah, this we also know that even a mother who was at that very scene in Delta State, a mother residing at Akwa-Ibom community within the Ugeri South local government area of Delta State, revealed that the shooting was and killing in their community were sparked by the soldiers' insistence on taking their community chairman and other leaders. Contrary to the claims of aggression, the woman asserted that they did not attack these soldiers, rather they welcomed and entertained them. They claimed the evidence, the violence ensued only after the soldiers attempted to take their leaders away following the peace talks. All of this is still going away, and the woman is actually a runaway mother who they are staying in the bush. He said a lot of people have died in this very place, unreported though, that they are in the bush, and the army came to meet them and all of that. So, well, whatever is going there, we condemn the act of the killing of these soldiers, but at the same time, nobody seems to be talking about so many people, so many civilians that are said to have lost their lives in this instance, which, according to those reports coming out, are very, very much higher casualties than the military. But at the same time, we wait to get reports that are coming there. Let the military allow the reporters to go in and do their own investigation of what is actually going in that. Even in a war-torn situation, reporters are known to have gone into deep area to actually know what the conflict is, so that they can report the true actual facts of things happening there. So please, we do want the authorities to take charge in this regard. That will be all for now. And Finally, we want to say I will not go without informing you about the Obedient Family Cooperative Society. Wherever you are, the link to the Obedient Family Cooperative Society is out there for you to actually click in and join the community. What is Obedient Family Cooperative Society? It's a place where we are gathering ourselves, being together. We expect to get all the 704 local governments in Nigeria to have Obedient Family Cooperative Society. Whatever local government you find yourself, try to get one registered. Here we have done one already, so we'll be operating to assist our own members who are in production so that we can survive this very hunger that is a menace in Nigeria here. We support them to produce more, and when we are able to feed, we will also do the export that our own P2B's Excellency has recommended. So we are working towards this, and we want everybody watching us, or you that is there, pick up the link and send to as many obedience and as many well-meaning Nigerians as possible, so that we can continue to be together, building a solid structure for 2027. But we must survive before then and act as an opposition, a strong opposition before then, and that's what we are doing now. So please do join us. Click on the link, share the video so that other people will be aware. Thank you for now. Until we come your way again, bye for now.